Hi folks, welcome back to my hoard. Let's see, still haven't fixed this, so it's about 20 after 5. It is June 7th, Saturday, 26.3 degrees centigrade. It is, 78 Fahrenheit, give or take a foot and a half. 78, 79, and the sun is not on my battery, so they're not charged. Some of the channels I watch all the time, have to do with alternate energy. I'm also interested in solar power and stuff like that, miniature housing, solar power. Just some of those things interest me. I don't know. Maybe it's from when you kind of grow up and money's tight and things are rough, you're always trying to figure out how to get a little bit more for your money, or how to set yourself up so that your bills are smaller, or how that you can, if it became necessary, one could live in a much smaller space and survive. So and a buddy of mine, Raymond Earl, he's on the other side of the pond. He's there in the UK. Just started a channel on alternate energy. His first video was on lithium ion batteries, how to get the most out of them. So something to look at. But I mention it because I always give a status of my solar cells here, and I really do not get the most from these solar cells. As a matter of fact, I get virtually nothing from these solar cells. They're on the other side of that window, and that window is low E-glass. You can see the frame there going up the center. There's two of them. There's 30 watts of Harbor Freight solar cells in there. And even on the wrong side of the low E glass, regularly, you guys, when I show you, you can see the green lights on up there, which means the batteries are fully charged. Yellow means they're charging. No lights on means there's no sun at all. So right now they're in a state of charging. The battery isn't fully peaked up. What I would like to do, and millions of things I would like to do, but this is my shop radio. And it's got an analog tuner on it. That's one of those knobs you twist. And basically, it runs off this this is a UPS. So the UPS is charged when I plug everything in, and I just plug that into the UPS. So if I'm welding or something and knock the power out, and I do that occasionally, the radio keeps going. Basically, I have it on the UPS because UPSs don't last very long if you don't keep them charged up and use them. And this UPS was very, very expensive. You can see that right there, right? But it drives me crazy because with the analog tuner, there's a lot of times that I can't get the channels I want, and depending on the weather, it kind of drifts in and out, and bugs the heck out of me. So what I would like to do with that is eventually I'd like to get a car radio here, sitting right here, as a matter of fact, underneath, where it won't take up the shelf space, have the antenna go right up to the attic with the wire, which gives me a little bit more height, which will get me a little better reception also. And then I could just sit here and punch the buttons and get the channels that I want. Well, to do that, it'd also be good if instead of getting, like, I don't know, the most I've ever seen this thing charge at is like 3 amps, 3.7 amps. I think I've seen it charge that high. Does that make sense? 3 times 12 is 36. I only have 30 watts worth of solar up there, so maybe ignore the current that I just gave you. That can't be true. Anyway, it really doesn't charge at a very high rate. So what I'd like to do is get those solar panels outside, get a radio there, and also I bought, I just ordered them some 12-volt strip lights LED lights to go up on the ceiling. As a matter of fact, I didn't order them. I put in a bid. Let's see if my bid is accepted, and then we'll see how much light they cast. I'm not sure there'll be enough to light up this garage. That ceiling's up pretty high. The ceiling on this place is a full pre-cut plus a couple of boards on top and bottom plus 2 blocks, right? So the ceiling here I think is just about 10 foot tall. I got an extra couple of feet of height on the ceiling. Just makes life a little easier to load things up. So anyway, another plan, another thing to do, another thing to get going. As a matter of fact, there's a couple of cars sitting basically in the way. They haven't been scrapped out yet because they both got good radios in them. That Kia, that purple Kia, has a decent radio in it, and the and that Ford Escort has a real nice stereo with a CD player in the trunk. So theoretically, or disc player in the trunk. Theoretically, the disc could be sit underneath there. I can put all my favorite discs in there, and then, you know, have all kinds of music rock in this place. Not that you guys are allowed to hear it because you know, YouTube doesn't want us playing anybody music without copyright permission. Yay, YouTube. So that's one thing that's rattling around in my head. Second thing, buddy of mine, Signalman James, has a John Deere tractor, even though I don't have a John Deere tractor, and he needs a chute for it. So I cruised around the Horde, and I found this on one of the mower decks. All you have to do is bolt this on, right? It's already got the spring there and everything. So 2 bolts, and this thing goes right on there, and this will set them up. So there's that's for Signalman James. We'll drop that off tomorrow. About tomorrow, I got a road trip planned, heading up to see Stoney. Go check out his view on the Hudson. I should bring my camera with me. But one has to be polite with the camera. Sometimes folks are cool about, you know, you standing on their front lawn and videotaping things, and sometimes people are like, yo, you know, I don't want the world to have that much knowledge of my life. And, you know, who are you to come here and give the world, right? If you videotape something or somebody and you put it on the internet, right, you've basically given the world access to that person's life and privacy and all that. So one has to be careful what you do with the camera, right? You don't want to make friends and then piss them off. So tomorrow's a run up to Stoney's. We got some deals cooking. I think you guys, folks, the wildlife. Got a rabbit there somewhere. I don't know, could you guys see it? So, the wildlife, folks. So there's that. And, you know, I posted a video of this Sears tractor, and there's a Rodney Sears, I think is his YouTube. You could see I did a like on his video, and one of his videos, and I subscribed, and there's bees in here threatening me. Anyway, he saw the videos for this thing, and he indicated that this is a very rare tractor. It's a 67, I think he said, and it's rare. Anyway, I was looking all over it, and I couldn't find the 917. Sears puts a 917 tag on all their stuff for serial numbers, and I looked all around the back and front and all, and I could not find that. So there's that. And you know, the markings on the motor, you're gonna have to turn things a little bit so you can read them. But that's about it. I'm trying to remember the exact story on this tractor. A friend of mine saved it from a scrap pile. Somebody was moving, you know, one of those, I think it was a divorce thing, and it had to go. and it was going to get scrapped. So he picked it up with a load of scrap, and he didn't do anything with it. So I got it, and I saw the Tecumseh engine with the electronic ignition, and I almost didn't do anything with it, but just on a lark, I gave it a little hoot of ether and turned the key, and she fired off. So I took the carburetor apart and rebuilt it. Well, cleaned it. I didn't rebuild it. I didn't put anything new in it, and it fired up, and it ran well. And the battery even takes a charge. If I'm smart enough to keep a halfway decent charge on it, the battery even takes a charge and takes right off. So anyway, I wish Ronnie was a lot closer, because to be honest with you, I don't know what I went for it, 150, 100 and a quarter, one or the other. Call it 150 just for a number. If I could get that back out of it, I'd be thrilled. But it'd cost you probably $500 to get it out. He lives out toward Wisconsin there, which is a half a country away. Because to be honest with you, I mean, I enjoy driving it around. It's cool to do that with. But if somebody's going to completely restore that and put it in a collection, I'd actually rather see that happen to it, especially if it's a rare tractor, right? If it hangs out with me, it's just kind of, it's just not a good thing for it. There was an individual who was after this guy. I think his name was Harley Guy, something like that. He lives upstate New York somewhere. We were going to cut a deal on this one, and he was going to bring this one back to life, this case. So there are things I collect and never part with. The 3-wheelers, 4-wheelers, Honda stuff particularly goes into that. For some of this other stuff, I mean, particularly like the Bolins, I kind of want to hang on to them. But like for this guy, if somebody's going to put it in a really, really nice collection, and quite honestly, I could go look at it or go look at pictures and say, wow, rather than me hang on to it until the tires go flat and the thing gets all screwed up, I would love to actually see that happen for some stuff. So there is some things I will let go, and some I won't. Like this military generator, it was going to go to the scrap, so I ended up with it. It's got a 4-cylinder water-cooled Continental on it, and it's cool to own, but I'm doing nothing with it. And I don't want to part it out. I don't want to pull the stack off of it. I don't want to haul it for scrap or anything. So if there was like an individual who hooked up with me, and we were able to cut some kind of deal, that's another thing that could like disappear. Especially if he were to get it running and put it on a real military trailer and tow it around with a real military Jeep, and it would go to parades and all that kind of stuff. I mean, that would be a cool thing to see, right? A cool thing to have happen to it. Then, even though I don't own it, I know that it went to a good place and it's going to be cared for, and it's living a better life. It's not living a great life now. That has a better life undercover. Right now, that isn't living a great life, but if I didn't pick it up, it'd probably be on its way, or it might already be in China, and it would come back and become pig metal, right? It becomes some cheap tool or something. So I'd rather keep it whole and find a new person to own it. So anyway, I worked obviously 3 nights this week. And tonight's a scheduled night, but I took a vacation day. Work. The rumors go on at work, but there's no reality, right? There's no way of proving what's true, what's not true. Last night was my last night for changing my mind about going through that transitional retirement plan. I did not. I stayed in it because I would. My plan is I basically have 18 more months of a part-time schedule at work, and then I am going to retire. I decided that at that point I'll be almost 58, which is not old, but it's not quite young anymore either. For doing the kind of stuff I want to do, playing with this kind of crap, at the age of 58, it's if I want to do it, I got to get to doing it, and I got to get to getting organized, and I got to get to making space, and sorting, clearing up, getting it easy to work on things, getting a lift put in. I got to get to it, because it's not going to be easier to do these things in the future. If I'm set up properly, it won't be hard to do it, but if I'm not set up properly, the ability to lift and carry and do all this other crap is going to get harder. You guys could see I did get the Sears out of that hole. I decided that bike, that's the 200S, and that bike, the 200M, they're gonna go on the ATC shelf to get out of the way for a while, because they're in the way and they're annoying me here. Once that happens, it kind of really loosens things up. I gotta find a better place for like this box of shovels. It's just, quite frankly, in the way here. It's like an island of crap that I need to get rid of. There's a mower deck leaning against that wall that needs to kind of disappear. And once I get all this stuff loose, it'll be nice to be able to roll things around. Me and my great big plans for here. I really wouldn't mind getting this stuff out of here, and quite honestly pouring a concrete apron through here. I don't know, it'd probably take 3 yards or so of concrete. Let's say I go out, let's do it in 3 so it's easy. So if I go out 6 foot, it's 24 foot, right? So that's 24 times 6. Let's make it 25, just to make the numbers easy. Times 6 is 150, and if I make it 4 inches thick, that's a third, which takes it down to 50 divided by 27. So it's about 2 yards of concrete. Each one of those little bags of Quikrete that weigh somewhere around 80 pounds is 2/3. So 2 yards and another third. I need, how many of those bags would I need? 54 if each one of them was a cubic foot. 54, a little more. 60 plus 1/3 more. So I would use 80, 90 bags of those little bags of concrete to do this. And I think those bags cost about $4 each. So it'd probably be about a $400 job, throw some gravel under it. To do that, and that would give me, and just roughly 9 by 24, and it would that would just be nice, because it would be easier to to roll things out and roll them back in, and should something have to be out here for a little while, like that guy or this guy, I could throw a tarp on it, it would stay dry. And all, right, more things to do. Got a million things to do. All right, I've been babbling for about 20 minutes. Let's call this the wake up video, and the Sears tractor video, and the Sears and the mower deck flapper video, and 1,000 other videos. Folks, Thank you always for watching. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for subscribing. I'm up to I think it's 550 subscribers, 560. I really appreciate that. There was a time, and for some of you new guys out there, there was a time when, I had so few subscribers. I had kind of Tommy Shu and his some of his loyal folks came over when he subscribed to my channel. So it was like the Tommy Shu dozen, and then gradually it worked up a few at a time. Got a lot of subscribers through 200 Monster. He's a good man. Make sure you go out and watch his videos. And Volkswagen Darren, who's just going in, finishing up some stuff and going in for neck surgery. So make sure you think positive thoughts for him and go watch his videos and all. Tommy Shu just fell off a ladder, destroyed his ankle. All these guys out there. It's interesting. You get to know some other people and get to know their lives. Recently got to know Stoney, know him, met him. So and his younger brother there. So YouTube's been good. I have mentioned, and once again, this is a horrible long video. What I like to do with YouTube is I like to use it as a way of kind of getting organized, right? Like I've showed that thing and I've showed this thing, so now I have to kind of like do something with them. I can't just let them sit around for forever, though I've showed plenty of other crap and it sat around for quite a while. But it's just nice to move the projects along till they're running, until they achieve some point, and then go on from there. So for me, even though I have hoarding mayhem here, I got a big mess to look at. YouTube helps me stay organized and helps me, plan my projects a little better and helps me keep moving. There's probably plenty of you guys who would be saying, "Oh yeah, I'd love to see what it would look like if you weren't organized." Well, you really wouldn't. Guys, been babbling way too long. Thanks for watching, commenting, subscribing. We'll catch you on the next episode of The Horde. Remember to keep your feet down and your head up. Live your life and enjoy it. It's way too short. And even if you live a long time, you don't know how long you're going to be strong and healthy and smart. And your eyes and everything else are going to work as good as they work now. So if you got something to do, get off your butt and do it, because life is way too short. Take care now, folks. Bye.